was sitting at church, listening to the good word. The preacher singled me out to ask if I heard about Jesus and the promise of Judgment Day. And if I had any questions on this fine Sunday, I asked, "Hey preacher, if I got bit by a zombie and died and came back as a ghost, would I be horrified to find my body up and around, all zombified?" Tell me preacher, could I harm myself as a ghost if my body was a zombie? If zombie me was bitten by a werewolf, would I get off free? If Dracula came along and nibbled on that, would my zombie werewolf dead body also turn to a bat? The preacher assured me I had no reason to fear. Those things aren't real and God won't let the bad things near. But I wasn't listening. My brain had one task. I still had that burning question. So once again I asked, "Tell me preacher, could I harm myself as a ghost if my body was a zombie? If zombie me was bitten by a werewolf, would I get off free? If Dracula came along and nibbled on that, would my zombie werewolf dead body also turn to a bat?" The preacher had enough of my musing that day, and in the house of God I could not stay. He said, "Boy, read the good book, you'll find your answer in there." So I went home and tried to read, but the question was still there. So I picked up the phone and called. "Tell me preacher, could I harm myself as a ghost if my body was a zombie? If zombie me was bitten by a werewolf, would I get off free? If Dracula came along and nibbled on that, would my zombie werewolf dead body also turn to a bat?" The preacher said, "Leave me alone," then he slammed down the phone. He had such an angry tone. So I stepped outside, I started to cry under the full moon, screaming, "Why, oh why? God, won't you answer this question of mine? I didn't hear that thing shoveling behind me." Soon I was floating next to my zombie body, and as a ghost I was yelling, "Watch out for that big dog." Then after I was bit right out of the fog, you guessed it, a Dracula bit my zombified werewolf corpse. I followed my body as it went to the preacher's house, and as the preacher screamed, I as a ghost said, "Guess what, preacher? I now know I could harm myself as a ghost if my body was a zombie. If zombie me was bitten by a werewolf, I would get all furry. If Dracula came along and nibbled on that, my zombie fury dead body would also turn to a bat."